homosexual faggot dipshit motherfucker. Fuck you, that's why. Cause fuck you, that's why. Cause helmets suck, that's why. And commies like you swallow, that's why. Fuck Pete Wilson, that's why. Fuck Dick Floyd, that's why.
Police! How many people are there?
As police rushed shoppers to safety Sunday, Shay Goldman's grandmother was getting frightening calls and texts.
She says, Grandma, I'm okay. She said, but I'm terrified. You know, and then she says, Grandma, what is the world coming to? And she said, I don't think I'll never step a foot in a mall again.
Her granddaughter was in the food court, traumatized but safe, thanks to Shay's boyfriend, Elijah Dickin. The 22-year-old from Seymour took down the mall shooter. Eli's the man police call a hero.
Well, I just know that I'm so proud of him for what he's done. He saved my granddaughter. I know he did. She said on the phone when she called me, she's, Grandma, I'm okay, that Eli pushed me out of the way and told me to get down and to stay down. And everybody should be proud of him, you know what I'm saying, for what he's done. Because if not, there would have been a lot more.
Shay told her grandma she spotted the gunman coming out of the bathroom.
And she said, Grandma, I seen a long gun. And then all of a sudden, Eli told her get down and pushed her. And she said it went from there.
Investigators say Eli, within seconds, stopped the suspect, pulled out the pistol he was carrying under the constitutional carry law, steadied himself against a pole, and fired 10 rounds from 40 yards away. The suspect tried to go back in the bathroom, but instead fell to the ground.
His actions were nothing short of heroic. He engaged the gunman from quite a distance with a handgun. Was very proficient in that, very tactically sound, and as he moved to close in on the suspect, he was also motioning for people to exit behind him.
If he didn't stop, do you think of how many people in that food court?
19-year-old Shay, who's in nursing school, took action too, helping a woman shot in the leg.
She said she took her coat off and put a tourniquet around it and waited.
Both young people courageous in chaos, police say, amid deadly trauma at the mall.
I'm glad they're both okay, and I'm glad he did what he did, but we need prayers for him. He needs prayers, because that's all. To take somebody's life is hard.
All right, everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the Liberty Bowl. So today we're going to be talking about some stuff going on in the media. Well, actually, stuff that's not really going on in the media, I guess. So we saw I did the episode yesterday about the mall shooter in Indiana that was of course foiled by a good guy with a gun, and so of course not a big deal. Media is just kind of whatever. Seems, well, of course, the righties are going to be reporting on it, of course, but it seems like, oh, well, it wasn't that much of a tragedy, so we're just going to kind of move on. But so what's your take on that, man?
I mean, of course, it's not going to be in the mainstream. It doesn't fit the narrative, right? I mean, good guy won, evil didn't win out. There's just not enough fear for him there.
Right.
Only 3 people died in their eyes. I mean, which is terrible. Don't get me wrong. That's a horrible thing.
Right.
But obviously, it could have been a lot more, man. And freedom won out. Freedom won the day, son.
Right. America. Fuck yeah. Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah. But
yeah, and especially to be commended by the people that would usually come to shoot you afterwards.
Right.
That's pretty good too, right? They all
Right.
spoke about how proficient he was. He was at a distance from the Glock, I mean, which isn't known for long distance, some range shooting or something, right?
Right.
But I mean, guy killed it.
Oh yeah, literally.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
he did. Yeah, he did what every young guy, playing with the toy gun imagines he could do one day.
Right, and it's funny too because you see memes all over the place of like fucking how many mass shootings have been stopped by a good guy with the gun. It's like, all right, one, and then it's like fucking how many mass shootings have there been? Like tons and tons and tons. But at the same time, like we're talking about right now, it's because the times when the evil wicked plan was foiled, they don't report on that. Yeah, they don't report on good news. They don't report on positive things happening. They report on you need to be afraid. Basically, that's the mainstream narrative all the time for every single thing. Doesn't matter what it is. Yeah.
That's their only grip on power is to make people afraid and have them clutching pearls and oh my God, this is getting crazy. I mean, there's an uptick in crime, but it's because of the lax enforcement of laws and whatnot that's giving people nuts, right? I
Right.
mean, if I mean, just a couple years ago, I mean, of course, like mass shootings have, I mean, it's been a slight issue. It's not even as big as people make it out to be, but the real uptick in crime is lower stuff, theft, car
Right.
theft,
Right. The petty crimes,
it's
fucking people
yeah,
running out of goddamn Walgreens with a fucking shopping cart full of shit, and that's how they go shopping nowadays. Like, shit. Speaking of motherfucking Walgreens, fucking so you essentially, I think we were talking about fucking the Twitter's boycotting Walgreens now. The libs are
yeah.
boycotting Walgreens. Let's go ahead and check out what's going on in the Twitter sphere. So, Occupy Democrat says, breaking: Walgreens is hit with a wave of boycotts after it's revealed that employees are permitted to refuse the sale of condoms and emergency contraceptives to customers because of moral obligations, meaning religious bigotry. Right?
Do you think it's religious bigotry, or do you think it's like some people looking down, like trying to be everybody's parent, like, are you of age? That type of situation, which I don't agree with anything. I think
Right.
if a kid's
Right.
gonna go have sex, they're gonna have it. Let them get them condoms.
Right. Exactly, dude. I mean, that's the the general fucking rule of thumb. Like, you don't want kids having kids, give them contraceptives, And which by the way, fucking abortion is not a contraceptive. That's a fucking, you know, I guess fucking solution to the either improper use or non-use of contraceptives, right?
Exactly.
Right.
To compare the two is laughable, man.
Right. Which is why, like fucking banning, these, I mean, I get, some people's proclivity or, I guess, the reason why they're against abortions and things like that. Of course, it's purely moral thing. I mean, both of us being fathers and stuff like that. I'm sure we couldn't imagine our little ones not being in this world, but at the same time, it is kind of understandable to understand where a young woman that's not ready to have kids, she finds out she's pregnant, like, of course, it's her prerogative if she wants to take care of it at that early stage. She decides she's not ready to be a mother yet. I mean, in my opinion, that's fine. Of course, a lot of the Bible thumpers and stuff would disagree. A lot of the conservative, Christian conservatives would disagree and stuff like that. And I do believe that it is somewhat religious based stuff like that. People just wanted to fucking smack you with the Bible, things like that. But as we were saying, it's religious based or not, it's irresponsible to deny contraceptives to people for really any reason. I mean, it's like I say, you're not gonna stop them from having sex. At a young age, it's just fucking, it's all over the fucking media. It's all over the fucking pop culture. It's literally in your face, all over fucking, basically the I don't know. I'm not gonna say, fucking, I'm not gonna be all like, oh, common decency and things like that. But I mean, fucking from what was acceptable, in, music and pop culture in even the 90s is nowhere near what it is today.
But anyway, I think a small percentage of it is actually religious. I think it touches back more to what you said originally. I think it's more of a moral thing. And I mean, even me, right? I mean, I'm libertarian, right? I believe in freedom. I believe, like you just said, if someone, sees that as their only out, I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do if you can live with that, right?
Right.
But at the same time, personally, I think it should be used for like, emergencies and like extenuating circumstances and like mistakes, like we were just saying. I mean, a 15-year-old kid, yeah, I mean, dude, think about what you were doing at 15. And
Right.
you don't want to see two kids ruin their lives. I
Right.
mean, I could see that. To me, that's almost constitutes an emergency.
Right.
You
And I
know?
mean, it's not just their two lives that are also being ruined at the same time. I mean, granted, this kid, is growing up with these, irresponsible parents and stuff like that. Not even if they're irresponsible, like I said, just if the fact that they're not able, to have access to, like, so I guess I saw an article, I guess, a judge blocked Virginia's outright ban or something like that. I just, like I said,
Yeah,
I
like,
just saw the headline, but yeah, it
yeah,
seems like
I saw that too.
yep. But like I say, if I can, these types of things, like I say, I agree with the overturning of Roe v. Wade because I do not believe that it's a fucking constitutional right for you to be able to have abortions and stuff like that, as defined by the Constitution. So I do believe that was a correct overturning. But at the same time, a lot of this, like I say, a lot of this stuff is just completely like irresponsible from the lawmakers' perspectives and stuff.
To me, it's beyond. I mean, especially if you're in a state where you're like, okay, we're gonna limit or heavily restrict or outright ban abortion, and then to try to turn someone down for a contraceptive. I mean, you're just you're asking for problems. Everything that you're against or you're worried about is about to happen.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? I
Right.
mean, that's a like you made your bed, lie in it type of situation.
Right. I mean,
Uh,
but as per the boycotting of Walgreens, I mean, dude, the fucking libs have done so much damage to fucking Walgreens already, dude. With the fucking just constant fucking robbery of fucking Walgreens, to the point where they're even trying to bitch like, oh, they're calling the cops for us robbing them. What the fuck's wrong with them? Like the libs have totally fucked over Walgreens so fucking bad. Like Walgreens, CVS, all these like little convenience drugstores and stuff like that, and now they're gonna boycott them.
Yeah, I see videos where they've been forced to close down stores in California because of the amount of theft, up to like over $20,000 a month in these smaller market stores. It was pretty it's pretty crazy to watch the videos.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure you've seen a ton of them yourself.
Fucking libs of TikTok shares them all the goddamn time. Fucking
It's like a zoo.
right.
It really is.
It's straight fucking this the results of defund the police, right? And that's what they want more
Yeah.
of. But then again, they're gonna bitch about when fucking things happen to their personal property, like when people break into their cars, or when people steal their cars, or when people break into their homes, or when people fucking do home invasions and shit. Oh, then it's an issue, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it's to me, it's being seen on a level that it hasn't been around in America, at least not widespread.
Right.
It's pretty isolated incidents, smash and grabs and whatnot.
Right.
I mean, like I grew up in a pretty rough area, and it's I worked for HUD for years during like the financial collapse, and I don't even think it was comparable.
Yeah.
And it's really.
Right. But it's just I don't know if I can the whole what was it? It started with the fucking the George Floyd, the defunding the police, and then fucking they started fucking burning down fucking cities and this and that shit. 529, and then it's fucking it's degraded it down to fucking defund the police. Then it's like, oh shit, we need more funding for the police now. Fucking so now the police are even funded even more than what they were already funded. But now it seems like they're just trying to rewrite what the fuck they actually do for a living. It's almost like the border patrol, where they're like, all right, you guys patrol the border, but if anything happens, don't do anything. It's almost like they're trying to do the same thing with the cops, it seems like. And don't get me wrong, me and you fucking fuck cops, right? All day long, you fuck fucking cops, but still at the same time, dude, I mean, fucking the percentage of cops that are out there to do harm intentionally to people's lives and things like that, I would have to assume it's pretty low. I'd have to assume. I mean, granted, there is probably a lot of those motherfuckers out there that just got picked on too much in school, and now they got to take it out on society. But granted, I do believe that there are at least quite a few out there that really do just want to protect their communities. But then again, they're not allowed to protect their communities. They have to go protect other communities where they're told that the people there are fucking animals. Like just everyone there is an enemy and shit. Where why can't I patrol my neighborhood?
I look at police as like you would the state as a whole. I mean, to an extent, it's a necessary evil, right?
Yep.
I mean, the only thing that I would change about it is to make them like real first responders, kind of similar to EMTs and firefighters, to where they're actually waiting to respond to emergencies rather than hanging out hassling people for tint and the size of their rims or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just trying to raise revenue, basically. I mean, if they were going to be for safety and peace, for the original intended reason, we actually need that, obviously.
Right.
I mean, it's pretty easy to deduce, and the funding to an extent, I can understand. I mean, but I don't think defunding like just like payroll, cash, stuff like that. I think more of supplies. I mean, they're giving these guys like weapons of war.
Right,
I
right,
mean, for real military grade weapons, and
right.
they're
I
taking that to the head.
Oh yeah, there needs to be a complete fucking reform of fucking the police system. But like I say, same time, reform, not fucking complete fucking abolition of it. You know?
You don't want to be Seattle and send out social workers to handle armed fucking assailants.
Right.
They're gonna come out and talk this guy down on PCP with a 9 millimeter, man.
Right. We've all been there, right? We've all been in that situation.
Right. Yeah. It's normal.
Right.
I mean, you just need to talk down.
I mean, yeah, we've all fucking done a bit too much PCP sometimes, you know. Like, he just needs a hand, you know, a hand up, not a fucking prison sentence, right?
Right.
Right. But at the same time, fucking, as a libertarian, I don't give a shit. If a motherfucker wants to do some PCP, let him do some PCP. But again, when they start fucking going and fucking and trying to annihilate society, that's when, of course, someone like the police needs to step in and shit. But, fuck it. You want to fucking do what you want to do. Do what you do. Just once you start becoming, a burden on society, then that's when you're a problem. Like I say, basically,
I think that should go for the police too, though. When you start getting these lawsuits and stuff for excessive force, and it's like they're turning off their body cams and stuff like that, we as taxpayers shouldn't be paying those lawsuits out. That should be coming out of pension funds, something to that effect.
Right.
But it has to be, I mean, the scales, right? They're supposed to be blind. It's supposed to be even. I mean, and that's a hard thing to maintain.
Right.
But knowing you need those police, obviously, you also need to look at it with, an open eye rather than just judging because, fuck the police.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
So
like,
it's rough.
Right. Fucking so like we were so speaking of like police and shit like that. Fucking you sent me a couple articles earlier on I guess they're re-examining fucking the prison labor system, or aka the modern day American slavery.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, is that not too much? I mean, you see in there that to the extent that they're involved in the Arizona workforce.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're building homes, they're building theaters, they're building bowling. I mean,
well, as you know, I've mentioned before, I've been through the Arizona prison system, so trust me, I know the programs and stuff. They're out there. I mean, they're not just the people out there picking up, the sides of the highways and stuff. They literally they build
skilled
homes.
labor.
They actually, little known fact, Arizona, your school bread, the bread that gets shipped out to your schools, is made by sex offenders.
Wow.
Right.
I did not know that one.
That's some real shit, right?
Yeah, but what about the head of with the corrections board, right, for the state? Always says Arizona would fold without prison labor.
Yep.
He's legit saying that a state in 2022 functions on slavery, man.
Yeah. Well, fucking, which amendment is it that freed the slaves or something like that? Fucking, like 15th or something like that. Well, there's whatever one it was. Fucking, there's a little section of it that says this does not apply to fucking to inmates. So I mean, I guess there's their loophole right there. I mean, fucking you could be. Well, of course, those are also in the days when you could just be sentenced to hard labor and shit like that. So of course, that's I'm assuming that's the reason for that being in there. But they use it to the fullest here in Arizona. Arizona's number their top two revenues.
Yeah.
Arizona's top two revenues, fucking copper and slave labor from inmates.
Said copper.
Right.
That's sad that it's on an even keel, right?
Right. If I can go to the copper standard, man, Arizona be fucking balling. Like just speaking of copper, how much did you say it costs in fucking copper to make 1 penny?
Oh, it costs a nickel. It costs a nickel to make it.
Right. Fucking brilliant fucking monetized system here. Fucking
yeah.
But yeah, dude, fucking prison. I don't know. Like I say, fucking as someone that's been through it, and one of the very few, I guess you would call success stories. One of the people that was actually reformed. Changed my ways and stuff like that. Realized that this life sucks, you know. Like I said, I do feel like it needs a large reform. Like I said, from being in there, a lot of the jobs that you're forced to be assigned and stuff like that. You know, again, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm fucking shilling for the state or some fucking shit like that, but a lot of these motherfuckers in there, they ain't fucking never worked a goddamn day in their fucking lives, you know? So, I mean,
Right.
really, it does kind of, I guess, give them structure to, you know, I guess get up every morning and fucking wash their face and fucking, you know, go fucking to some sort of job, even though they are getting paid, you know, fucking 8 to 25 cents an hour, you know? I mean, it gives them some sort of structure, I guess, you know, aside from the inmate structure. The inmates will structure the fuck out of you, you know?
Let's see, like the article I sent you was talking about some of them make only $1 a day and whatnot. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like living in a third world country. I
Yep.
mean, I see like I haven't been to prison. Obviously, I've worked my whole life though. So I know the value of it, and I also know the value of being taught it as early as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But so of course I believe that let's hook these guys up. Let's teach them a trade. Let's give them a job. Like you said, give them purpose, structure.
Right.
But at the same time, they got to be rewarded in some fashion, and
Right.
it can't be like buy an extra cup of soup this week.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean,
That's-
I mean, it's truly borderline slavery.
Right. Honestly, for most people, it equates to about a pack of cigarettes, you know, per week. Which I fucking also
rough
heard.
shit.
I also heard too. They're trying to ban smoking in Arizona state prisons. Like, dude, you're gonna fucking start some riots, man. Jesus. Like fucking like. So,
Didn't they go through a phase where they also took away like the exercise equipment here in the state of Arizona for a minute?
so they
Like, at least like in Phoenix, right?
so they've taken away all free weights. Basically, I believe that's a universally throughout prisons and stuff. They took away all free weights, just, you know, for the obvious reasons, because you could fucking smash somebody's head wide open with one, you know. But
Right.
But I remember when I was in there, fucking, they had a softball. You know, they'd let you play softball and stuff like that. Well, they fucked that up too, because one of the fucking inmates fucking beat the shit out of a guard with the softball bat. And so now they took away softball. It's, like you said, it really is, you know, similar to a third world country. I guess, like I say all the time, the way I equate fucking prison is basically a living example of fucking communism. Basically, you have the people in power, which is basically the guards, the prison staff, you know, things like that, who basically regulate every single day of your life. You know, basically they provide your meals, they provide, you know, just the bare minimum to keep you alive. And then within that, you know, communal society of sorts, you know, basically like you said, because it is somewhat communal, because the kitchen staff, you know, the people that make the food and stuff like that, it's all inmates, you know. Of course, I mean, you've seen it in every fucking
Right.
you know prison movie ever. It's all inmates that you know run the kitchens, you know, fucking that clean up the fucking cells, clean up the fucking pods, you know, clean the yards, do all that shit. It's all inmate work that keeps the the prison community fucking, I guess, you know, clean and operating and shit. So I guess in that way it is communal, but at the same time, the inmates fucking hate it, you know. I mean, it's not like fucking like, oh cool, well, come to prison, fucking we live like fucking communists here, you know.
Of course, I
it's
mean,
gonna
you
be
should hate
beautiful and lovely, right? You know, like
Right.
fucking basically, yeah. It completely it diminishes all your drive, you know, to become anything other than a better criminal. You know, like I said, once you're in the system and things like that, that's when you have to learn a hustle. Mine was tattooing, you know, and then you know, that's aside from your job for the system and shit, you know, because like I said, fucking if you're only in there making, you know 15 25 cents an hour, like I say, it's a pack of cigarettes every week, you know. That's not really, you know, living, you know, other than, unless of course you have people from the outside that send you you know, stuff in. I unfortunately did not. So, you know, everything that I had in there, I had to you know, make, you know, had to I guess kind of make myself, you know, as per hustling and things like that. You know, I'd do artwork, I would do fucking tattoos. You know, there's other people in there that, you know, like wash people's clothes, things like that. You know, there's all kinds of stuff. People that fucking sew. You know, it's basically you develop your own, I guess, trade. You know, in a way, and basically the trade comes from either drugs or food, and basically, like I say, that's basically the community operating within the communist community. That's why I was asking you earlier about you know, if you know, the worst were to happen and America were to fall to communism, do you think you would spend your fucking your lifetime trying to fight it and overthrow it and bring it back to what it was, or do you think you would learn to operate within the system? You know, like I say, if it's very similar to prison, basically. You know, if like yeah, you're stuck at your fucking base level and shit like that. You know, you could only get so far and things like that, but you can fucking come up with your own hustles, you know, on the side. You know, you can fucking create your own trade, your own, you know, like even if things like you know, a one world currency or fucking a one world digital currency, like, you know, like they're talking about in fucking Davos and shit like that, were to occur, like I say, we would, you know, develop other ways of trades among the communities and things like that. You know, because of course, especially if you're outcasted and you're fucking blacklisted and your accounts are all frozen and things like that, how are you going to survive? You know, so either way, you're going to figure it out. You know, the will to survive is always going to prevail. And basically, that's kind of why I was asking that earlier, because, you know, like fucking basically. Like we see whenever a lot of these fucking communist regimes come into power, basically fucking the revolutionary type people, the people that basically the people that helped overthrow the original system that brought in communism are the first people executed, because they're the people that are most likely to, you know, express their disdain with the new system, you know. And then not to mention all the fucking the power struggle that ensues afterward, which is gonna be kind of interesting to see. You know, because we're seeing you know, fucking you know, leaders of these nations resign fucking left and right all over the fucking world right now. Fucking Sri Lanka, was it Italy? Fucking the prime minister fucking in Britain. Fucking shit. Fucking guys. Fucking Trudeau's next. No, but no, fucking.
It seems so far to only be countries that are weak, countries that are economically struggling at the moment.
Right.
I mean, I understand there's inflation across the planet, but others are hit harder than some, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And it's countries with weak militaries. That's where you see leaders stepping down.
Right.
You know.
But I guess a lot of it is due to this to these you know, sweeping environmental regulations that they're trying to, you know, inflict on farmers and stuff.
The UN. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that's what a lot of this is leading to, basically. You know, like, well, of course, like I said, the will to survive is going to always prevail. You know, when you start trying to starve out people and tell, you know, like basically like dim the gaslight, tell them like, you know, it's okay, nothing's happening. It's okay, you're not hungry. You know, when you try to do that, people are gonna fuck you, dude. You know, and they're gonna fucking rise up. You know, the will to survive is always gonna prevail. You know, at least you know that's my white pilled in a black pilled society, you know, speech. What you think of that, man?
I think communism is a is a hard thing to swallow, man, for anyone that's lived their life pretty much free.
Right.
And that's why that's the reason that you're saying it's similar to prison.
Yeah.
It's shared misery.
It really is.
And to think that we have an entire generation or more of people in this country that support that, want to roll it out here, would want to go would like to switch from capitalism to communism. And I mean, I even have guys that I've known for years that'll come on my social media and go, well, don't you want to try something new? Like, it's not working out. Like, dude, this is the newest system there is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why they refer to the United States as an experiment. Like, it's one of the younger ones on the planet, and it's, you know, everywhere you've seen communism rolled out, what's been the outcome? It's been millions of deaths, not just hundreds, not thousands. Millions.
It's really just, you know, when government seizes the means of productions and things like that, you know, government doesn't know how to fucking regulate shit. Government doesn't know how to fucking farm, like we saw with fucking Mao, with, you know, the fucking what the fuck did he have? His like fucking communal gardens, something like that. Fucking basically fucking forced everybody to fucking garden. People that didn't know how to garden, well, guess what? You're gonna learn how to garden. If you don't fucking know how to garden, you're gonna fucking die. You know? Like, basically that's what it became. And then they had their backyard mill, or their backyard furnaces or something like that, where they're fucking melting down fucking their own metals and things like that. Like, it's pretty fucking crazy shit, dude. Like I say, fucking I don't know, like the way that capitalism seems to solve its own problems and things like that is basically when there's a need, basically the first person that's able to fucking fill that need, you get the capital,
Cash
fucking
is in.
yes,
Yeah.
basically fucking when fucking crops aren't growing too great, the first person that comes up with an alternative as to how we can grow these crops without fucking Russian fertilizer, the first person that comes up with a better solution is the person that fucking that makes the money off of it. Government isn't going to put that much effort into finding a solution as someone is that is driven by capital, by currency, by fucking cold hard cash, man. Right.
Yeah, it's unlimited. They just tax you harder.
Right. And like we see with a lot of these like current government programs and stuff. I think they're talking about it on Timcast a couple weeks back. What they seem to do is they seem to like create like, all right guys, we're gonna start this new program and stuff like that. All right, here it goes. Here, all right, it's up and running. Okay, fucking 2 years later, like, hey, whatever happened to that program? Like, oh, it's still running. It's just fucking, it's been skipping. It's fucking on a glitch for the last fucking year. Like, oh, should someone fix that? Nah. Like that seems to be the way that government programs work. Basically fucking they like everything's like, oh, fine and dandy, great, like fucking, and then fucking they just kind of, okay, cool, that'll run itself, and then it just ends up running itself into the ground. They never seem to try and fix any issues, any problems, anything like that. Yeah, I feel like that's the way that's the reason that fucking capitalism was always going to fucking triumph over communism, as in basically as when it comes to filling a need and basically taking care of the consumer.
Yeah, choice, service.
Right.
For sure.
But see what else we got here. So fucking shootings, governments being overthrown, prison reform, fucking we got Walgreens, fucking shit, man. I think we got a damn good show here, man. That's a pretty good chat on fucking prison and communism, right? I mean, like I say, it's almost fucking one and the same. Fucking I like looking at things through both ends of the telescope. I like looking at the small version and then the big picture. Like that's one reason why I like having liberal ass Canada just to the north of us, because we could see basically what super extreme fucking, basically we see a fucking a giant nation that is California but renamed as Canada.
We see examples of what not to do,
right?
And we see the kind of people not to elect, man.
Right.
Really. I mean, I'm not into the whole vote harder thing. I mean, because we see that's not working out, man. Yeah. But you see what not to do for sure.
Right. Like I say, they're just clear examples as to what fucking the whole liberal world order eventually leads to and stuff. Fucking like with sweeping mandates. Fucking like, dude, fucking Trudeau saying fucking you don't have the right to defend yourself here. That's a fucking cowboy American fucking ideal. Like, dude, fuck you, man. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck how cowboy American it is. Like, I don't give a fuck fucking if that's a super Christian thing to think. Like, dude, fuck that. Motherfucker's trying to kill me. I'm gonna kill that dude first, and I'm gonna be walking free because that's gonna be called self-defense. Like, so it's the way it works in America.
I think people shouldn't let stooges like that get away with that type of speech. Right. I think you should be called on it. Like the want or the need for self-preservation has nothing to do with America. I mean, yeah, we have the 2A, but that's not exclusive. That's human nature.
Right.
I mean, it's fight or flight.
Right. Exactly, man. Just like we saw in Indiana, man. Fucking 22-year-old fucking kid, man. Motherfucking badass son of a bitch, dude. He's definitely fucking getting laid. He's definitely been blown since that happened. Yeah.
I'm sure. Right. And if not, then we're living in an even worse.
Right, dude. What the fuck has society come to, dude? So, would one of these ladies please take care of that guy, man? Actually, he's got a lady. I'm pretty sure he's not one of those types of dudes. He's actually I'll put the clip in here, but I guess that thing that
make sure she was safe first,
right? That's a fucking that's a dude right there, man. That's a red-blooded fucking American dude right there, dude. That's what it's all about, bro.
Right. Yep, proud of you, son.
Right? Fuck yeah, it's a real good show, man. All right, man. Fucking so we thank you guys for watching. Fucking the last show did pretty good. So we're definitely gonna to try and keep this format a lot more often. I'm also gonna be still be doing fucking breaking news reports, things like that. Fucking opinions, all that type of stuff. I'm gonna be trying to drop philosophy here and there when I can and things like that. Appreciate you fucking co-hosting and things like that, man. Fucking appreciate helping spread the word. We're getting a lot of love from the YouTube's communities and things like that. Fucking getting some good comments, things like that. Fucking it's we're getting some a lot more subscribes. It's good times, man.
Yeah, let's keep it up, keep it rolling. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it. Like my man said, hope to see you real soon. Smell later.
Peace.